This video should be used for entertainment and historical purposes only. Nothing more, nothing less. Hellcat.
So he had the wrecked out front end like real good. So you know, right at I'ma say maybe the hour mark, the Jaws dog, he started laying around. He was laying around, and now we really taking it to him. You know what I'm saying? We taking it to him, dragging him. To be honest, we dragging him. You know, and we wind up getting a handle. He stood the line. You know, we wind up going to courtesy, and man, on the courtesy, this had to be one of the best courtesy scratches you'll see. I mean, because keep in mind our front end was gone, so he literally wiggled all the way over there, in like maybe 5 seconds. I'm talking about like a snake made contact with him, man. I'm talking about it was one of the best feelings, man. Like everybody was, cheering him, and so all the hate we had got before, everybody was declaring now that he was a bulldog, this and that. So I want to say like after that show, we was debating whether we was gonna bring him back out because he took a lot of damage. His front end was really messed up. You know what I'm saying? He took a lot of damage. So we was like, let's see if maybe we can. Well, my kennel partner, he wanted to breed him, and I was totally against it. I ain't gonna lie, because I don't believe in breeding dogs before they done. And we bred him a few times. I ain't gonna lie, he bred him a few times, and we decided we was at a show and we met a guy, and the guy was from ATL, and another guy had told us about him, a guy who I looked up to, and was one of my big dogs in the game, and he told me, he said, "Hey man, this guy here is stiff competition, you know." He said, "Y'all will get just as much praise as y'all got from beating the Jaws dog. You beat this guy right here." So him and my guy Papa, you know, they argued back and forth, who gonna win this, that. So we wound up hooking it. And at that time, I didn't know that Papa had some things going on, you know what I'm saying? And he was working a dog from Ohio. It was champion Chevy dog. He went on the same night that Dirty went. It was supposed to be 3 champions going that night, but one of them forfeited. So the champion Chevy dog, he came from Ohio. So Papa worked at him and he worked Dirty. Well, leading up to, as it's about to get down, one of my kennel partners told me that he heard that Dirty had been throwing up. So when I asked Papa, he said, "Oh man, it's probably just a ride, this, that. So not to make no excuses or whatever, but we wind up doing it. He came out like the old Dirty. I mean, he was smoking them, bro. I'm talking about you'd have been like, damn, this one of his easiest fights, from the first 20, 30 minutes. But man, right at about 40 something minutes, the dog, went across his nose. And I don't know if he shut off the oxygen on him or I don't know what happened, but he just started like fading big time. Like, big time. He just started fading and he started laying around, So at this point, he's just laying there. And the dog started working on him. He never squealed, never did none of that. So, we just said, man, well, we'll go ahead and pick him up, because he couldn't defend himself, I mean, I don't know if he was sick. I don't know if Papa just missed on him. Like I say, Papa's still one of the top guys I ever saw condition a dog, period. But, that particular night, I would say he missed on him, missed on Chevy too. So the dog, we wound up picked him up, and when we picked him up, they courtesy scratch. They made a good scratch, and Papa stepped out of the box with him, and everybody was like, "Nah, scratch him, see if he gonna come, see if he gonna come." Now keep in mind, to get to this point, when we picked him up, he scratched out. You know what I'm saying? So when he got back in the box and everybody got out the box because the boys were celebrating, it stopped us from making grand champ, And we get back in there finally, and he placed his legs and trying to get him to be able to stand up where he can move or whatever. And he just, when he released him, he just went straight to the ground, like his body like went down like in a S type way. You know what I'm saying? But his head, he never took his eyes off the dog. You know what I'm saying? But like I say, the haters started talking their talk and saying this and that. But, like I say, man, Dirty was one of the best dogs we ever owned. I mean, he made the cover of the Scratchback after we beat the Jaws dog. I mean, still to this day, when I school dogs, well, when I was active, when I was school dogs, some years back, I would judge them off of how dirty used to be, and if they didn't meet that standard, I'd be like, nah, he ain't the one, because I was chasing that style, that dog. You know what I'm saying? So Dirty was a real special dog though, man. I mean, he made us out of a household name. I can tell you that. It was known all over, like everywhere. State to state, everybody knew about Dirt now. Champion Dirty. But yeah, that's the story on him, man. He was basically just an Eli Carver dog. The Deuce stuff on top, the Maverick stuff on the bottom, Bobby Hall stuff, and his dad was throwing a bunch of good dogs too. His dad would have been ROM, but he died at like 4 years old, and maybe 5. I know he died early, but yeah, that's the story on Champion Dirty, bro.